Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's good to be back here.
The Worth Enhancement Lab.
Come on.
Kicking off. I'm D. Starworth.
Mark Williams.
And today we're talking about don't isolate yourself. Ladies, let's shine.
Come on. Isolation.
Yes.
Isolation. Wow. What a topic, because I think isolation is something that could easily happen after life happens.
Oh, that's powerful. Yes, indeed.
You know,
indeed.
It's like that shutting down that happens because, you're trying to protect yourself.
Right. And we do that without even thinking about it. We go invert really quickly, without understanding why and how long we stay there.
Wow, come on. That's important, because once you start isolating,
yes,
time just starts slipping away.
Yes, it does.
It's easily for those weeks to turn into months.
Yes.
To turn into sometimes. When was the last time you said, I haven't seen or talked to or been in this circle in years?
Yes. It's imperative that we identify that solitude is not okay. We deserve to shine. We're valuable. We deserve to walk in our glory and in our shine and our beauty.
It's funny because in the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, I think it was number 18.
Okay.
The law number 18, of course, he says, don't build a fortress around yourself.
Oh, wow.
Don't build a fortress around yourself. And generally, when we isolate, what we're doing is building a fortress.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to let anybody in here.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to let this group anymore. I'm not talking to them anymore. And all of that is just building a fortress.
You are hitting it.
Around you. And that's something that, it's for protection.
And we almost do it normally. Like, it's a normal thing to say, I have this wall up. It's a normal thing to say, I can't be penetrated, or you can't get in here.
Right.
I don't do that anymore.
Right.
I don't hang around, and it's fine. Let's just slow down and say it's fine to evolve.
Evolving is fine.
It's fine to sometimes change circles.
That's fine too.
But it's not okay to be alone.
Isolation. Okay, he said, don't build a fortress around yourself.
Yes.
And then the tag to that was, isolation is dangerous.
Oh my. Who would think that? So let's just identify or give some indications of what isolation looks like.
Okay. Isolation is when you start cutting off people who feed you. When you start cutting off sources that feed you.
Okay.
Even isolation, and a lot of times, it may not necessarily always be sources that feed you. It may be you cutting off people who hurt you.
Okay.
It may be you cutting off people who disappointed you.
Aren't we taught to do that?
Okay, we are,
yes.
but here's the problem. It's always important to cut off people who intentionally hurt you.
Yes.
But every time you're disappointed, you cut somebody off. Eventually, you have no one.
Okay. Now I love that breakdown, because now I'm understanding where we're going with this. Okay, so it's not them, it's me.
What do you mean? Explain that.
So I went through a period of time where I was trying to elevate myself spiritually and just gain more understanding of my age group, where I wanted to be. So I just cut off everyone that wasn't doing what I'm doing.
Okay. And I get that, because if you're going a certain direction and they're not, then the high possibility is I may need to let you go.
But how about I miss them?
Okay.
And because of who I am, I was not okay with going back and saying, hey, how are you?
It's important to value people.
Yes.
Even if you don't value what you do with them.
Oh my goodness, Mark, you are hitting it. So because of, so my thing is, I did dirt with those people.
Okay.
I was trying to cover up my dirt.
Okay.
I was trying to erase my dirt.
I get that.
So looking at those particular circles brought up my old man.
Okay.
My shame.
Right. Okay.
My embarrassment of things that I've done. Oh, they know I did this or said this. I didn't want to hang around them anymore.
Okay.
So I tried to. Well, yeah. I literally went into isolation where all I need is my family. All I need is my husband. I don't need no friends.
And I get that because, again, that's a protection mode.
Is that what we're talking about? Is that a form of isolation to where you just cut everyone off?
Yeah, that is a form of isolation. Because here's the thing: even though I have some people that I may not necessarily do dirt with anymore, because
yes.
I don't do that. They
yes.
still do, but I don't.
Yes.
If that's the case, I believe, especially as women are growing,
yes,
there's some people that you probably will be connected to for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when we decide you're just going to cut everybody off and you isolate, what you're doing is not just hurting them. Because 9 times out of 10, when we cut people off,
yes,
it's not just to grow. Most of the time when we cut someone off is because we're hurt by them,
yes.
we're angered by them, we're saddened by them, and we want them to hurt the way we hurt.
So I'm not going to deal with you so you can feel the pain.
Right. Because years ago, somebody said to me, "Are you trying to get me back? If I was trying to get you back, I'd leave you alone."
Oh, come
okay?
on.
So,
I call it dropping off. I will drop off your planet.
Come on.
I'm not walking with you anymore.
Treat you like you never existed.
Wow.
But the reality is, when we do that, it only hurts us.
Yes, I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
Hurts us. Now, when you're growing, and we'll come back to that. When you're growing, there are some circles we have to change.
Yes.
But we'll get to that. The reality. Okay, so recognizing some key things that make us isolate. One, what are some key things that we see that? One I can think of off the top of my head would be shame.
Will make you go
off by yourself.
In solitude,
mm-hmm.
Unreachable,
mm-hmm.
can't be penetrated with love, support.
Because me talking to you might bring up the fact, like you were saying, there's some stuff in my background that may not, when we start thinking about our backgrounds and we start thinking about, people really judging us. That's the issue. Because that's where shame comes from.
There we go. That's powerful.
That's where shame comes from, the idea of having someone else judge you.
I remember someone said to me, you remember what you did at that party? And
that actually happened.
Yeah, this is a true story. All the things I say is true stories. And I said, no. Oh. They said, I said, what did I do? Oh, you don't want to know. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That was shameful. So now I don't want to know. I don't want to go to those parties anymore because what I did previously at a party.
Right. Even if you can't remember.
Didn't remember. And that's another bad thing that made me. Just recently, I was in isolation. And wasn't a COVID thing. It was purely me trying to, hey, who are you?
Mm-hmm. Now, so the question becomes, is that really isolation, or is that you reevaluating who you are? Because taking a step back to reevaluate oneself may not necessarily be isolating.
Okay, so we need to dive deeper into this isolation thing so I can make sure I want to shine.
Okay.
I want to be the type of woman that can connect with different women, that can connect with different circles.
Right.
And we all shine.
Right. And I believe that's possible.
Yes.
But when we start thinking about isolation and we think about it from the context of pulling away for self-care, because what you just described to me was self-care, it's a little different than when I'm ashamed and I'm running.
Okay.
Or I'm ashamed, so I'm avoiding these. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because isolating or just cutting the world off.
Yes.
To be by yourself.
Wow.
Because I don't want to deal with you all anymore. Not because you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to reevaluate who I am, but because I don't trust you. So I'm isolated. Come on.
Okay. I totally understand what you're saying. I just have a habit of thinking that it's me. Like, how can I say? Like, so if I hurt someone, if I offended anyone, if I showed up and I wasn't welcomed,
okay, that makes sense.
It's me.
So that's what makes you isolate?
That's what makes me.
This is my fault.
Yeah, so. and I say this, I've said this before. I don't need anyone. And then I try to go biblical with it. And I don't need anyone. You know, all I need is my family, my husband, my kids.
As long as I got King Jesus.
You are.
Come on. But see, here's the thing. That's isolation at its best. Wow. And I'm not saying that as believers, you know, we shouldn't put Jesus first, because we really have to.
Yes.
But the reality is that we weren't put on this earth. And every
yes.
Tiki, every woman that we have here in ministry, yes. or even, you know, people that we meet on the streets.
Yes.
When we serve needy people, when we deal with homeless women, there's value in every woman.
Wow.
Every woman.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how much money they make.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where they work, degreed or not, husband or not,
yes.
single or not, mother or not.
Go ahead.
There's value in every woman.
Oh, we're gonna slow the tape down on that. That's so powerful.
And so when a woman isolates,
yes,
the value in her, the wealth in her,
go ahead,
is hidden.
Wow.
Is hidden.
Wow.
Because each one has intrinsic God-given value.
Yes.
A woman shouldn't react to a man reacting to her body.
Yes.
She should react to a man reacting to her value.
Oof. That is powerful, ladies. I have to take a moment on that, excuse me, and just soak that up. That is so powerful that a woman should not react to a man looking at her body, but should react to her value.
Yes, indeed.
Come on, ladies.
Yes, indeed. Because every man can see her face.
Come on.
Her cheekbones.
Come on.
Her eyes, her hair. Every man can see
yes.
the size of her waist or
yes.
the size of her hips. Or
yes.
Every man can see that.
Yes.
But when a man slows down to see her personal value,
yes,
that's what makes the difference.
That's powerful.
And so that value, the value of who she is intrinsically, her inside, her
it's already there.
Feelings, her
yes.
emotions,
yes.
her gifts,
yes.
what she shares, how men react to her, how children react to her, what she is at work, how her job reacts to her, how people she interacts with react to her. That value in her
yes.
is important and is nothing like it.
And you are definitely saying that isolation dims that.
Oh yes, it hides it.
Because now you're not connected, or you're not able to pour into,
come on,
or even sharpen,
come on, affect
off of anyone,
or not just off of, but can't pour into. You know,
yes.
Not only are you not touched by, because see what happens when you share value, you receive.
Come on.
Okay, when you share value, you receive. You go to the store, you pull out your $20
yes.
for whatever you're sharing,
yes.
or whatever you're trying to gain. You give your $20 and then you receive. Now, when you share who you are, you receive. When you share what you really are on the inside, when you
yes.
decide that what's in there is worth touching other people, what's in there is what's worth blessing other people, what's in there is worth people experiencing.
Oh my.
Then what they experience from you
yes.
causes them to share who they are, or share the reciprocatory value
yes.
of what you give.
Oh, that's powerful.
If I can put it like that.
No, you hit the nail on the head.
So
you hit the nail on the head.
That's why shame has to be dealt with.
Yes.
So that there's no isolation.
So how are we dealing with the things that make us isolate? How are we dealing with shame? How are we dealing with bitterness?
Come on.
How are we dealing with hurt and disappointment? To those who feel like myself, I did this to myself. or they hurt me, or they let me down. I can't depend on no one but myself. You want those ladies that already have that intrinsic value in them, dealing with so much darkness, to shine.
It's exposing who you are.
Yes.
That causes you to shine. Hiding it is what dims the light.
Okay. The fortress she was talking about.
Stand behind that fortress.
Yes.
Going into a closet, just, I don't need to deal with anybody anymore.
Yes.
Or I don't trust them.
So now that I recognize the trauma.
Okay.
We've talked about trauma. We have video on trauma. You guys should check it out.
2 videos on trauma, and they were powerful.
Please check it out. We talked about, we haven't dove deep into disappointment, but we've talked about a little bit of shame, hurt. We talked about hurt. Now that I am aware of those things, now that I can put my finger on, where those things came from, how do I challenge myself to uncover and walk out of that?
It comes down to, I'm convinced.
Okay.
That it comes down to recognizing how extraordinary, how valuable,
yes,
your real worth, your you.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
valuable,
Yes.
your inner self, what you add, your sauce,
Yes.
your ability to share, your ability to touch, your ability to add what you add to life in the lives around you. When you recognize just how much it's worth, and see, it's funny because you can't put a number on it.
Oh.
And so, because I'm trying to say, okay, well, millions, billions, trillions. No. You, a woman.
Right now.
A woman. Any woman that's listening.
All the sheets off.
Again.
All the makeup off.
Any just plain flat-footed, bare naked you, come on, is valuable.
Yes.
Valuable. You don't need, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing added.
Nothing added. You are valuable. And again, I see the same thing when I'm standing in a bank looking at the
teller?
Not the teller, no.
Oh.
The manager.
Oh, the manager.
I see the same thing when I look at the female manager.
Yes.
When I'm standing in the store and the manager's there, you are valuable. You are extraordinary. And I see the same thing when I'm standing on the streets with a woman who's barefooted and half naked. You are valuable.
You better say
I mean, worth more than you can imagine. And so stop trying to.
If I had.
Huh?
If I had.
If you have.
If I had money.
Come on.
If I lived in this different area. If I was brought up differently.
And
just you.
All of that wouldn't change who you are. You're still
my goodness.
Extraordinary. Still awesome. Still valuable. Everyone. You are valuable.
Yes.
If you had, doesn't change nothing. Right. Who you are right now is worth doing something to get yourself to a place where you're not isolating, where other people can be touched by you.
Yes.
Other people can experience who you are, your thoughts.
Your greatness.
Right now.
Yes.
Well, if I get smarter, if you want to get smarter, get smarter. That's on you. But who you are right now, valuable.
Just you.
Valuable. If I gain more weight, who you are right now, fine. If I lost weight, who you are right now, come on. Stop listening to the old voices. Stop isolating. They don't need you. Oh, they do need you. Stop isolating. Stop isolating. Because it's holding you back. There's so many more people you can touch. There's so many more things you can do. There's so many things you can experience. They're waiting on you.
Yes.
Don't isolate.
No, please. Please. This type of message has to be soaking in. You have to take time with this type of message because I think we put so much into how we look, what we drive, where we live. We forget about that intrinsic value that we're born with. So for you to take your time and talk to the ladies and talk to our community of women about how valuable they already are.
Come on, it's there.
That is important. And I pray that you receive that. I pray that you soak this in and let it be edifying to you and use it. Come out of that shell. Come out of that solitude. Come out of that darkness. Come out of that blame game and just shine. Just touch. Live a more happier life. Oh, how I don't have this. I have bills. We all do. We all are dealing with something. People are dying every day. We all are dealing with tragedies, traumas, addictions. It's time to break those habits, break that frame of mind of thinking that you need this to be happy or you need to rely on him to be whole. No, you already have everything you need inside of you. Let's use it. Let's challenge ourselves to be that valuable person walking around in full glory, in full beauty of just who you are. Shining bright. I love that.
Because here's the thing. Sometimes it's those types of incidences that would, the shame, the trauma, things that cause that. But then sometimes it's people.
Okay. How so?
Sometimes there's circles of people that we end up in, or small circles or relationships, or people at work, people at home, cousins, circles that we grew up in that would make us feel like we need to isolate or shrink back. Sometimes it's staying in the crowd, Denisha, because when we're kind of encouraged to stay in the crowd, sometimes I've seen women in crowds that won't shine because they'd rather just kind of fall down in the crowd and kind of just stay, because that's a type of isolation to me if you just get lost in the crowd.
Yeah, because so it's basically like, and this is from my own personal experience, like there can only be one smart person in the crowd, in that group. There can only be one beautiful girl. That's a lie.
Come on.
Everyone, like you said, has something in them that they can add to and pour out into and receive back. So I love that you have truly broken this isolation down for us to where we understand that everyone in your circle is valuable.
Everyone in the circle.
Everyone in your circle is beautiful. Everyone in your circle can be or already are smart. And it doesn't take us, we talked about this before, it doesn't take us stepping on each other. But it does take us now stepping back just a bit and saying, you go.
Right.
I'll go after you. You go. You know what I mean? It's like growing up as a teenager, it was like, oh, you're the pretty girl. When in actuality, that was the worst time of my life.
Right.
Where I felt
And did you feel pretty?
Not at all. And no matter what I wore, no matter what I did to my hair, or I didn't really wear makeup, but no matter what I didn't feel pretty. And I love that you broke it down to where you said, I wasn't looking to be pretty. I was looking to be valued.
Right, come on.
So,
so how many more young ladies today, or even grown women,
right,
are, pushing the envelope to get attention?
Yes.
When they're not wanting somebody to say, oh, you're sexy.
Yes.
They want somebody to say, you're valuable to me.
I needed to hear that from you. I needed you to be there for me.
Come on.
And that kind of stuff, like you said, don't have a price tag on it. So,
so the circles that cause us to that I've seen that cause women to isolate are the ones that make you feel inferior.
Oh, that's kind of what I was talking about. There's only one pretty girl in the circle.
Yeah. No. So now, it's not me.
It's not.
So we see our young ladies backing down.
Yes.
We see them, even nowadays, even trying to
change.
Yeah.
We change our bodies.
Right.
We change our.
Oh my gosh.
We change our.
And then why though? Didn't we just lose an Instagrammer last week? That was sad. We definitely praying for that family. Yes. Because 31 years old?
32, yes. Yeah.
And over trying to, and she was beautiful.
I say this.
When is enough enough? But go ahead.
I say this all the time. Whatever you do, because I don't know what made her do that. I have 2 children of my own, and just to dive a little bit, sidebar, 2 C-sections. Do I want to change something about me? Yeah, but I have a loving husband that says, put that plate to the side.
Stop bending your elbow. But,
and go work it out naturally.
Come on.
And then he also says, he turns around and says this too, God gave you that body just like that.
Come on.
I can't say why someone changes. I know it's, I've heard women say for work, publicity, more, to be more of an influencer, you have to look like this. Hey, right now, we're telling you right now.
You got influence right where you at.
Inside of you.
Come on. And it's more powerful than a butt lift. It's more powerful than bigger breasts. It is more, who you are is amazing. But go ahead.
If you spend more money on building up your brain.
Come on.
If you spend more money building up the nutritions inside of you, if you spend more money taking time out for peace, meditation, I promise you it's way more valuable. And as a nurse, I'm just scared of what are you going to look like? Lord, that you make 60.
Right.
That you make 50. What are you going to look like with those bodies?
Right.
And not to put anyone down.
No, it's not a put down.
Our opinion of if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Right.
But ladies, women, we don't need it.
Come on.
How can I put all this on and then expect you to value what's inside of me? You can't get past what I look like on the outside.
Right.
You can't even penetrate inside.
Right. Because the real you is not what you look like on the outside. Never has been.
So you don't have to go in isolation. You don't have to go in hiding. You don't have to, cover up just to fit in.
Feeling inferior.
Yeah.
Criticizing you will keep you in a circle.
Criticizing you will keep you in the circle?
Some circles that make you isolate.
Yes.
They're criticizing you.
Yes.
You're not, who you think you are?
Wow.
You're not the pretty one. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Your cousin is smarter than you.
I've heard it before. I've heard things like that before.
Sitting in that same circle will also make you hold back. When you know you're better, you won't.
Yes.
When you know you have the answer, you won't speak up.
Yes.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to ask a stupid question. No, speak up. Speak up.
Please.
Okay. Circles that cause you to isolate might also discourage you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you think you're smart? Over 20 years ago, when I was 30 years ago, when I was thinking about this movement right here, when I was thinking about this opportunity to encourage women, one of my friends said to me, he said, hey, because I was explaining to him, hey man, I want to do this and I want to, and he said, hey, do you have a degree in this? I'm like, no. Do you have a degree in marketing? No. And he said, shh.
Oh my.
But you know what? I got a voice now.
Yes.
And with that voice, I'm sharing with women, you are extraordinary.
Yes. Yes.
And right now, somebody's in your circle saying, shh.
Come on.
Oh, I want to be a doctor. Shh, you're not smart enough.
Come on.
Oh, I want to be, shh. I want to start and they're telling you to be quiet. And what I'm saying right now, speak up.
Right now.
Don't wait for 30 years. Do it right now.
Yes.
Come on, because what is in you, people are waiting.
And my thing is also, just to add on that, just because you step out of those circles, don't mean you run and tuck your tail. You step out to step up.
The key is to find, okay, here's the call to action. If anybody feels like they're in a circle right now, the key is find a new one.
Most definitely.
Find a whole new circle.
Yes.
Find a new circle. So if you've been feeling like people are dealing with you and trying to make you feel inferior, find a circle that challenges you to be bigger. Find a circle that's challenging you to learn more, to grow more. If you feel like right now that you're in a circle where people are criticizing you, and you know what, when people are criticized, sometimes I believe that they can get used to it.
Okay. Yes.
I've met few people that every time you say something to them, they think you're trying to break them.
Oh my.
Because they're used to being in circles where people criticize them.
Yes.
So if anybody says anything to, oh, what is something wrong? You need me to change it up? No. If you've been in a circle where you've been used to being criticized, find a circle where people celebrate you.
Uplift you.
You know, find a new circle. If you've been in a circle where people have been holding you back, find a circle where you can find support. Yeah,
Yes.
you can find support.
Yes.
You know, talk to me.
I love this topic. I'm trying to sit here next to you and soak all of it in. I think that with each lesson we learn, we need to research. We need to step out of our comfort zones sometimes. And if it takes, like you said, finding a different circle, put yourself in a different element. Try something new you never tried before. Step outside, you know, when your mind, because it starts in our mind too.
Right.
Even someone can criticize you, someone can try to cover your shine up, but we started in our mind. Step out your mind and say, you're worth it. You're worth shining. You're worth imparting in other women. Your wisdom is,
Come on.
how did you get this far?
Come on. Think about it.
So come out of isolation and step into your shine, ladies.
Indeed.
It's imperative.
It really is. So, hey, find a circle where you find support.
That's it.
Find a circle where people are positively honest with you.
Yes.
You know, not just critical, but hey, look, let me share
that's
this with
good.
you. They're honest with you, but in a positive way.
And then they have resources. Find a circle that has resources.
Indeed.
That's not pulling you back. That's not making you want to go run, but that's encouraging you to do better, encouraging you to water the dreams and the gifts that you already have.
Definitely. All right. You want to call it?
Oh my. I'm so excited to be back.
Indeed.
This was powerful.
I believe it was. And so what we want to do is encourage you to like,
Yes, subscribe.
and
Share.
Share. Come on. And look, comment. Like to know what you think. Really would like to know what you think. And hey, in just a few weeks, we're going to start, actually going to announce in just a few weeks that we're going to have a giveaway in just a little bit. So once you kind of stay tuned for that, until then.
Yes. Thanks for visiting the Worth Enhancement